Howdy, howdy. Welcome on in to the pre-show before the free show. Hi, Tep.
Look, I'm on time today.
There's a first for everything.
Gold star for me, I would say. Good job, Greg. Things are going great. Good job. I don't really have a pre-show topic, but we could probably come up with one.
Well, we can say the Step's getting his pick line out today. He's watching and he's pumped about that. So our buddy's on the mend.
Shout out Matt Stepp. In fact, I think he's going to try to make it to Texas here pretty soon. I know he misses us, so we'll see if he can make it back.
He misses me. I don't know how much he actually misses you.
I'm part of us. So we went to College Station. And while we're in College Station, every time we go to College Station, we always ask for food recommendations. And that's because College Station is
there's just a bunch of chains, and that's not a rude thing to say. It's just the truth.
It just is. There's a lot of it's a notoriously tough place to find.
Well, and I was gonna say the other thing too is like it's not just chains as in like McDonald's. Like they have nicer sit down chains, but.
So, let me put it. So we were looking around. We were trying to find a place that we want to try. Now there's a place. Well, one place that we've discovered that we like as the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Stuff, an area, is Main Street Bryan. Yeah, it's a very cute little Main Street.
It's very your wife cute is what I always describe it as.
Very small town, kind of classic Main Street. And we have found there's a burger place there that Third on Main.
Third on Main or
Third on Main.
Third and Main. I think it's Third on Main.
I think so. Very good. Got nothing but good things to say about them.
Yeah.
We want to try something different because the last, I think, 2 or 3 times we've been there, we've gone to that place. So we went, same place, same area, went downtown Bryan.
Yeah, it was like a couple restaurants down the road.
And we'll just give them, we'll invoice them for the publicity here afterwards. We went to a place called Bavarian Brauhaus.
Yep.
Bavarian Brauhaus. And walk in. Now, I've been to Germany. Have you been to Germany?
I have not. No.
There's very clearly a vibe they're going for of like the beer hall, of like the longer tables, the benches, the things like that.
The decor was very what you would expect at Oktoberfest type of thing.
The aesthetic was on point. The aesthetic was on point.
It really was.
It
was super cute.
We go in there. They did sell beverages, which is interesting. Of note. So we sit down. We order pretzel.
Yeah,
giant
because that was a big thing that I made sure that we did. I wanted that with the beer cheese.
They asked us if we wanted the beer cheese or the mustard, and we said
yeah, both.
And then we kind of went around the order. What did you order? I'm not even going to try and do the actual German name as I butchered it really bad, which was funny because she was the waitress obviously was very well versed in the correct way to say it. And I think every single person messed up. Maybe not you. You said bratwurst. Yeah. So, but I basically had meatballs on a bed of mashed potatoes. Yes. It was fantastic with a beer gravy over it. Yeah. I had bratwurst with sauerkraut and potato salad. Let me tell you, guys, looking for a good German meal down there in Brazos Valley. There's some good German. You got to go kind of a little bit further south to South Texas to find more German than up near kind of Munster, Lindsay area. But
Central Texas has a lot of German places.
Yeah, I think
Fredericksburg obviously is big.
But let me tell you guys, pretty darn good.
It was really good.
I'll say this much: we're gonna be back in College Station for 7-on-7. They announced the dates, by the way. June 23 through 25 is the 7-on-7 state tournament in College Station. We'll be back down there. Might be a little return visit in our
6 day, but we've got to do it. I will say this: we've got to do it the first day when we get down there, which is typically when we go out to eat anyway, because we're working the rest of the nights. But I don't know if I could necessarily stomach that food super well after being in 105-degree weather all day. The first night when we're driving down and we're all still, hydrated and all good, it's okay, that's good. But I don't know after 15 hours of nothing but deadly sun if I could stomach meatballs on potatoes.
Yeah.
That's more of a salad feels really good at that point.
I'd love to try.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it was really good.
There's a recommendation if you're down there in the Bryan College Station area.
Mhm.
Always a good time down there.
Yeah, be prepared to book reservations in College Station. That's like the best.
Yeah.
That's the best advice we can give you for food in College Station.
Exactly right. Hit the theme expo. Pickle! Hit the arrow sign. Yes, yo! From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a program on the internet. My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, a magazine, texasfootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live on texasfootball.com, on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch, or on Twitter, right? On Twitter?
Mm-hmm.
Or you listen to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local, mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She is the Duchess of the Dorks. She is my good friend, Ashley Pickle.
What do you want?
I just want to have a great show with my friend Ashley. Is that okay?
No, you want something. This is going to be the mics go off and you're going to say, so actually, I have a big dumb idea. That's when you call me your friend.
I've told you my big dumb ideas.
That's fair.
For the most part. Today is Tuesday, February 15th, 2022. 282 days until Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to
our good friend Sarah Merrifield.
Oh, it's Sarah's
Happy birthday. Yeah, I need to text
Texas
her, but
Football Today's own.
Yeah, I saw it when I got on a social media site.
Happy birthday,
I was like,
Sarah. Happy birthday.
Yeah, we need to text her after the show.
Episode 1332. On today's show, my friends.
Big announcement.
Okay, might as well just tell them that. We have a big announcement. Then we're going to go celebrate Pickle's favorite day of the
Math
week.
Tuesday.
Why don't you just why don't you just tell everybody? I'm going to lean back. You tell everybody what's on the show.
We got big announcement, Math Tuesday, another reminder, and then Houston Heights head coach Steven Dixon. I can yell those two if you want me to. Houston Heights Bulldog head coach Steven Dixon.
Yes, our buddy. So, big show today. We do hope you'll stick with us. Do we have first four through the door?
We sure do. It was Rob Hadaway, Just Chad, Aaron Arbuckle, and Hector Rios. Welcome in, fellas.
Welcome in, my friends. Okie dokie artichoke. We have a small announcement to make.
Big announcement.
Okay? Let's agree an announcement of some size.
That's fair.
So, this is something that we have been getting pestered about for years. I mean that. For
yes.
Actual years. And we finally relented. It's not that we didn't want to do it, but
there was just logistics we had to get through.
That had to come through. We now have it. Ladies and gentlemen.
A drum roll.
Introducing the Dave Campbell's Texas Football merch store.
Merch!
TexasFootball.com/merch. You can go on there. Here, I've got a. If you want to throw it up, we ordered a T-shirt.
Oh yeah, well, okay, I'll put that down.
Shirt.
There's one of them.
There you go. So for all your merch needs, if you need Dave Campbell's Texas Football merch, we have the TexasFootball.com/merch is where you can find it, and we have worked to figure out exactly what the people want.
Mm-hmm.
We've got shirts, we've got hoodies, we've got backpacks, we've got fanny packs, we've got a Tep and Step shirt. There's women's stuff. I came to you and Mallory and I said, "Hey, what do women want to wear?" And you were like, "Stand back." And so there's some cute women's stuff on there. Apparently, I don't know what's cute.
Oh yeah, no, we hooked you up, ladies.
But anyway,
and there's also kids stuff.
Kids stuff as well. TexasFootball.com/merch is where you can find the new Dave Campbell's Texas Football merch store. It's a long time coming. We know you've been asking for it.
I don't even think Aaron Flynn is in the comments today. He has been the sole person that has been on the merch bandwagon for years.
TexasFootball.com/merch. You can buy your Dave Campbell's Texas Football merch there. So make sure you go check that out. See if there's something that you are particularly interested in. You know what? I'm even going to tweet about it right now. So make sure you go check out TexasFootball.com/merch to see for all the needs in your life. If you were late for Valentine's Day, then maybe go check that out. TexasFootball.com/merch. Go check it out. Okie dokie, Pickle. Is there something else we're supposed to do today?
Math Tuesday.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
It's Math Tuesday. It's Math Tuesday, Pickle. And we're going to talk a little bit about upsets. We're going to talk a little bit about the biggest upsets in UIL Texas high school football in 2021. And what I think is funny about Texas high school football and when it comes to upsets is that, especially during the regular season, probably even through the first couple rounds of the playoffs, because there are so many games going on at once. Because on a random Friday night, there can be 600 games going on all at once. The anatomy of a Texas high school football upset kind of always goes the same.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is it'll be the second quarter, the third quarter, and the local beat reporter will be at the game, and they'll tweet out an update score.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say it's Pickle High, it's up 14-13 on Tepper High.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, there will be a big account, like Matt Stepp, right? Or the Dave Campbell's account, right?
That says, keep your eye on
It'll
this.
go, and they'll retweet it with the eyeball emoji.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. They will go and they'll retweet it with the eyeball emoji. And then suddenly, more people will start to follow this beat reporter, and they'll continue to provide updates. And then, whenever it goes final, everyone goes crazy, and they go, oh my God, look at this upset.
Absolutely.
It always works the same on a Friday night. Always works the same. And so, and part of that is because there's just so many games to keep track of that it's impossible to identify in real time what is and isn't a big upset.
Right.
And there inevitably what happens is Sunday will roll around. Will roll around, and I'll be kind of scrolling through. I'll be scrolling through the site texasfootball.com/scores, and I'll be like, "Whoa! Like I didn't even see that one."
Yeah, I was just gonna say because it typically the ones that get tweeted out are big blue blood schools that are down bad.
Yes.
And it's like so a Highland Park, Frisco, Wakeland. Everyone was locked in,
Correct.
ready to go. There's all the other ones that you're like, wait a second.
So, but not all upsets are created equal. In fact, I can tell you. Let me pull this up. What I think is interesting, the way we're going to measure the biggest upsets is with math, because this is Math Tuesday.
Math Tuesday.
And so the way we're going to do that is we're going to use TexasFootball.com computer projections. Now, for those who don't know, we partner with our friend Jerry Forrest at PigskinPrep.com. His computer system puts together a computer projection for every game in the state based on the team's ratings. So if Pickle High is rated higher than Tepper High, then Pickle High is going to be favored by X number of points to win the game. Tepper High will be X point underdog, right? So, would you believe? Maybe not. But when you take a look at these at the games, and we're only counting UIL games, we take a look at them. We're taking a look at the biggest point projections. Basically, you could consider this where the computer was the most wrong if you wanted to. So I put together the top 10. These were the 10 biggest upsets. These are the only 10 games that were in Texas high school football this year where the team was a 4-touchdown underdog and they were able to overcome it. At number 10 was Breckenridge over Jacksboro in Week 1. You're going to notice Week 1 is a trend here. I think it's because one thing you've got to remember is the computer is still figuring things out. We have our preseason projections, and then the computer is taking the data and they are then they're going and they are adjusting based on the new data, right? So when you've only got preseason projections, all you need is for the preseason projections to be wrong for it to be a big upset.
And it might not be the fact that the computer does not take in the fact that there could be this superstar sophomore a quarterback that's like, oh my gosh, this kid can throw. It doesn't know that.
And so Breckenridge beat Jacksboro 49-28 back in week 1. They were 28-point dogs. Also in week 1, Lumberton beat Columbus 31-19. Now remember, Columbus started the year ranked number 7. They were a regional finalist a year ago. Lumberton was coming off of a 2-7 season. So really, there was ample reason to believe, even though Lumberton's a 4A and Columbus is a 3A, ample reason to believe that Lumberton was a big underdog to Columbus. They were 33-point dogs. They ended up winning that game 31-19. Then you go to week 11. Also 33-point underdogs was Mission. The Eagles of Mission were 33-point dogs. And honestly, it's a little bit easy to see why, because PSJA North was cooking with gas. I want to say, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. I want to say they were undefeated. PSJA North was one of the very best teams in the Rio Grande Valley. They were cruising along. Mission was a team that was just kind of looking to play, not spoiler because they got into the playoffs. They had to win to get into the playoffs, but they were 33-point dogs. Especially the week before, they'd gotten trounced by Edinburgh Vela.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, they go out there and they beat them 27-21. Big underdogs come away with a big win. Next up, 34-point underdogs. Back to week 1. Harper beat Tehanis 14-7. And another thing to remember about this is that Harper was not doing great going into the year. Okay, they were not doing great coming into the year. They were a team we did not necessarily have high hopes for. Tehanis was a team that was coming off of a pretty nice year, a lot to be excited about for Tehanis, and in the end, Harper was able to spring the upset. So one thing, again, you go back to week 1, not a ton of data. This was a Harper team that was coming off of a 2-9 season. They were able to go out there and beat a team in Tehanis that was pretty highly thought of. Speaking of which, week 2 brought us Axtell beating Bremont. Now Axtell, this is pretty shocking.
Mm-hmm.
Axtell was a team that was, 1-8 the year before. And when you even zoom out a little bit further, they were 1-9 the year before. Okay, they had won 2 games the previous 2 years combined. They go out there and Bremont, say what you want about where they are right now, but they were a team that was 8-4 the year before. They were an area finalist. They were a team that was kind of considered maybe a dark horse there in Region 2 or Region 3 of 2A Division 2. But Axtell goes out there and beats them as 34-point underdogs. Then we go to Fort Worth Polytechnic. Now Poly is a program that, again, was pretty down.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty down. They were 4-7 the year before. They're big underdogs to Fort Worth Northside, who was really cooking with gas. They go out there and they beat them 14-9 as 36-point underdogs. Staying in Fort Worth ISD, this one was probably the biggest, shocker.
Mm-hmm.
But Arlington Seguin. Now, Arlington Seguin, when you think of Arlington ISD football, you don't necessarily think of Arlington Seguin. They're 4-4 the year before. Going up against Fort Worth Wyatt, they were big underdogs. They were able to pull off the win. Into the top 3, and these were the 3 that I thought were really stand out above everything else. Killeen Ellison. Week 1, Ellison coming in, taking on Liberty Hill. Now, Liberty Hill was recently promoted to 5A and things like that. This is an Ellison team. This is 6A, but they were 2-8. Liberty Hill was playing in a state semifinal the year before. Liberty Hill was a team we had high hopes for. Liberty Hill ended up playing in a state championship.
Mm-hmm.
But in week 1, Ellison got them. 12-7 in one of the big shockers, I think, of week 1. 36-point underdogs. They were able to get the win. Number 2. Now we're getting into serious stuff. Burke Burnett.
This one jumped off the page immediately.
This one was nutso. Now there's a lot to dive into here. First of all, they go and they beat Decatur 24-20. Okay, that in and of itself worth celebrating. Good win for them. It's also worth remembering that going into that game, Burke Burnett was 1-8. Okay, and they were taking on Decatur, who was a team that, even though they had a bit of an ugly record, they were 4-6, or they were 4-5 going into that game. They were a team that had played some really tough schedule. Right? They played Glen Rose. They played Midlothian Heritage. They had a win over Graham. Right? They had a win over Lake Worth, who ended up being 9-3. Right? They had kind of scuffled down the stretch, but Burke Burnett was playing for pride. They were playing for nothing in this game, and they went out there and they were able to get the win 24-20 in week 11 as 40-point underdogs. Which brings us to number 1, the undisputed biggest shocker of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Stanton 39, Childress 34 in the bi-district playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you don't see these types of things in the playoffs.
I was just going to say that the playoff aspect makes it the most impressive.
Right. In fact, of the games that were, of the upsets that were decided by, that were 10-point underdogs, so to speak, there are, I believe, a little fewer than 100 of them. And of those, I believe only 4 of them happened in the playoffs. Tomball over Cy Park was one of them. They were 19-point underdogs, right? Only over Rawls was another one. Barbers Hill beating Fort Bend Marshall. They were 24-point underdogs. But this one is shocking.
Mm-hmm.
Childress was a team we were looking at as potential state championship caliber.
Absolutely.
We thought they were going to win Region 1.
Mm-hmm.
We thought this was the year that they were going to win Region 1.
We should have found the bracketology clip of going, oh, this is Childress's to lose.
Stanton was a 4th-place finisher.
Mm-hmm.
Stanton was a team that was just kind of bobbing along, had real happy to be here vibes.
Yeah, we're just happy to be here.
Hey, we made the playoffs. It's already a successful year. In the end, they go out there and they stunned them 39-34. This is that quintessential upset you see start brewing in the second quarter. That suddenly Stepp and I are tweeting about it. Dave Campbell's tweeting about it. Everyone's tweeting about it. And Stanton's able to hold off and pull off the upset. 47-point underdogs, by far the biggest upset in UIL Texas high school football in 2021. So there you go. There is your biggest upsets in Texas high school football in 2021. We will get a piece up on TexasFootball.com about that. If there's another one that you think deserves to be on this list, let us know, and I can look it up and tell you how big of an upset it was. How about that?
Look at that. On-demand upsets.
We're at Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at TCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. TexasFootball.com is where you can find complete coverage of high school football, college football, and recruiting all across the Lone Star State. Hope you'll consider becoming a Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider at TexasFootball.com/subscribe. We're already hard at work on the 2022 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. If you want that mailed to you before it hits newsstands, please go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Also,
We have a reminder.
a reminder that the voting is open for the Dairy Max built by nature. It says built by nature and built by chocolate milk. They go back and forth. It's because chocolate milk is nature's candy.
Mm-hmm.
Dairy Max built by nature, assistant coach of the year. Who should it be? Vote at TexasFootball.com. You can vote as many times as you want through March 1. Vote for who you think should be the Dairy Max Built by Nature Assistant Coach of the Year at TexasFootball.com. Voting unlimited through March 1st.
I want a chocolate milk award. Like,
You had chocolate milk in College Station.
I did. It was fantastic, too. That little whatever breakfast place that we stopped at was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Very good chocolate milk.
They did have good chocolate milk.
Well, I should have. I should have tweeted it at our boy, our chocolate
I
milk
know.
boy.
You should have said, hey, man.
Yeah,
What
I'm
we're doing here,
tasting the grassy roots here in College Station.
I created a monster. Pickle, while we were down in College Station, we caught up with, and bothered, let's be honest, a number of great coaches across the state. One of them, the head coach of the Houston Heights Bulldogs, Coach Steven Dixon. We had a great conversation, including, and he brings it up organically. I didn't.
You didn't prompt it.
He went to he brought up South Oak Cliffs State Championship and what it does for a program like his there in Houston ISD. Really cool conversation with Steven Dixon, our buddy down there at Houston Heights. Here's our conversation with Houston Heights head coach Steven Dixon here on Texas Football Today. Dave Campbell's Texas Football here in College Station at the Lone Star Clinic. Here, the head coach of Houston Heights, Coach Steven Dixon. Coach, how are you, my friend?
Oh, phenomenal. Glad to be back and in a little bit of sense of normalcy and seeing a lot of great friends and coaches here at the clinic.
So the last time we had you on our air, you were drawing the state of Texas.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad experiment.
I got to say, from a content perspective, I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was great, but not for me. I got ragged by everybody in the whole state about that drawing. Yeah.
Let's talk about your ball club. Last year, a 4-7 mark. You guys go get into the playoffs, things like that. I know that the standard that you're building there at Heights. I'm interested in how you assess what you guys were able to do in 2021.
It was a struggle. We were very young. Surprisingly, COVID hit us worse than it did when it first came out. And we were missing some guys during the season, and that hurt us pretty well. And we were pretty young. So got everybody coming back, got a very talented group coming back, got some phenomenal freshmen that's coming off a 10-0 season. It's probably about 8 or 9 Division I type kids in that class. So I think the future is really bright at Heights High School.
You mentioned how young you guys were last year. I'm interested, as the season went on, did you see the growth from those young guys that you wanted to see?
Yes, I did. Just saw the growth. A lot of mistakes got eliminated. And again, when you're playing for us, we're going to allow you to make mistakes and learn from them. And then I just saw the growth going towards the end of the season. I really feel like, South Oak Cliff gave me, as an inner city coach, they gave me a lot of hope because the narrative is, hey, you can't win in inner city. And I think just watching those guys play and watching Austin LBJ, they gave me so much hope in my heart that, with the work ethic and putting the work in as coaches and players, it can be done.
It's really interesting you mentioned that because, we've talked with a number of other coaches who say that same thing, which is that seeing that it can be done is, for these coaches that, there it seems like everyone's rooting for them, to bring it home. Yeah. Do you get the sense that is that something you pass on to your kids and you say, guys, look at this, we can play at the highest level? Oh,
we talked about it when we started off season. They were pretty much our staple that we talked about, because a lot of inner city kids go through so much off the field. And the narrative is you can't, you got through so much going on. You don't have the resources. You don't have this. You don't have that. You're not going to be able to get it done. You don't have what Katy has. You don't have what North Shore has. You don't have what Duncanville has. You don't have what a lot of these other, Highland Park or a lot of these other schools that win the state championship. You don't have what they have. And I think that narrative is changed. And I think that, putting in work, coming to clinics like this, becoming a better coach, I think that narrative can change, no doubt.
Last week was realignment. Nothing changed, nothing doing there for you guys there, 18-6A. I'm interested in what all that was like. Knowing full well you knew pretty much how things were going to shake out and kind of stayed the same.
Yeah, it stayed the same for us. I know it probably shake up for some other people, but stayed the same for us. Stayed the same for us when getting to the playoffs. We're going to face the same type of opponents that we played. Coming into the first round, second round, coming out. I'm interested really in seeing in a couple of years probably how the thing is going to shake up, if there is going to be a 7A. I know a lot of people are talking about it. I'm interested to see how that is going to pan out a couple of years from now.
Okay, so then final question. We mentioned off the top that at coaching convention last year we had you draw the state of Texas. Do you have a request, what would you like to draw? What would you like for us to ask you to draw this time around? Is there something you would feel more comfortable drawing, knowing full well we'll be recording it and showing it to the entire state?
I don't know if I'm drawing anything today. No.
Appreciate your time.
No. Thank you.
There he is, Steven Dixon, the coach of the Houston Heights Bulldogs. Appreciate him taking some time. Thought it was really illuminating what he said about South Oak Cliff, about how we're talking about that in our locker room and saying, guys, look, they're the same as us. We can do this. There's nothing stopping. There's nothing holding us back.
No, and it's one of those things. We talked a lot about what it meant for Dallas ISD, and I think we focused a lot on what it meant for Dallas ISD, but you don't think that when you head down 200, 300 miles down south on 45 that it's having the exact same impact, and it is. Yeah. And that's really stinking cool.
Absolutely. So there you go, our conversation with Steven Dixon of Houston Heights. We appreciate his time. Let's go over to Ashley Pickle for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts.
Allow me to toot my own horn here.
Here we go. Toot, toot, toot.
The first comment I got back after tweeting out the merch thing was how much that they like the fanny pack. And all you
Who
men, Remy.
She doesn't even live here anymore. She go to Michigan.
But she made the perfect point. Men do not value and appreciate fanny packs enough because y'all always have pockets big enough to hold things in. We don't have pockets big enough to hold things in. So fanny packs, I'm just glad that we're trying to expand our female marketing. And what we're doing is we're giving women fanny packs.
Go ahead and throw up the graphic again. TexasFootball.com/merch.
Yeah. I'm going to throw up the fanny pack one.
There. If you have idea, I will say this. This company that we've partnered with to do the merch. This company, if you have an idea, we can probably make it work. No promises. I can't promise it, but we can at least look into it. So if there's something you're really interested in, it's like, oh, I'd really love there's a Tep and Step shirt, but let's say there wasn't.
Yeah.
I'd really love a Tep and Step shirt. We could probably make a Tep and Step shirt, right? So if there's something you're interested in, something you like, let us know. Maybe we'll start doing shirt of the month or something.
That's what I think. Yeah, is that something y'all would be interested in? Let us know. Shirt of the month. But I think that's something that would keep the merch train alive.
So there you go. TexasFootball.com/merch is where you can find the new Dave Campbell's Texas Football merch store. It's going to do it for us.
Go get your fanny packs.
Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. I'll say this. All right. I'm going to sign you up for work.
Oh, gosh.
If you buy a fanny pack and you bring it to Pickle, she will sign it.
Yes. Okay. My signature's awful, but yes, just to prove a point that the fanny pack is the most valuable thing on that entire website, please do. I will sign it.
Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbells. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbells, and of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks again to Houston Heights head coach Steven Dixon for being our guest. For Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please come get your Player of the Year trophy. We'll see you tomorrow on Texas Football Today.